Werewolves are legendary creatures from folklore believed to be humans who transform into wolves or wolf-like creatures, often associated with fearsome qualities like strength, speed, and a thirst for blood. The concept of the werewolf, also called lycanthropy, from the Greek lykos, meaning wolf, and anthropos, meaning man, has existed for centuries and appears across various cultures, particularly in Europe. Origins and folklore. The earliest stories of humans transforming into animals can be traced back to ancient civilizations. In Greek mythology, the story of Lycaon tells of a man transformed into a wolf by Zeus as punishment for offending the gods. This myth is one of the earliest examples linking wolves to human transformations. In medieval and early modern Europe, werewolves were often seen as beings connected to witchcraft and the devil. Christianity viewed wolves, which were predators threatening both livestock and people, as symbols of chaos and evil. This cultural backdrop contributed to the spread of werewolf legends, especially in countries like France and Germany. Characteristics and traits. Werewolves are typically depicted as humans who transform into wolves during the full moon, though earlier folklore included voluntary transformations with the help of potions, magic, or wearing a wolfskin. The full moon aspect is a more modern addition to the myth, likely influenced by popular literature and films. Key traits of werewolves include transformation. Werewolves change from human to wolf, often involuntarily. In earlier myths, this could be triggered by wearing a magical object or through witchcraft. Appearance. In wolf form, they are depicted as large, powerful, and often more ferocious than regular wolves. Some stories describe them walking on two legs with a more monstrous or hybrid appearance, blending human and wolf traits. Powers. Werewolves are known for superhuman strength, heightened senses, and enhanced speed. Some legends attribute them with near invulnerability, with only specific methods able to kill them. Weaknesses. The idea that werewolves can only be killed with a silver bullet became popular in the 19th and 20th centuries, especially with the rise of Gothic fiction and later horror films like The Wolfman, 1941. In earlier folklore, they could be killed by conventional means, such as fire or decapitation. Notable sightings and historical accounts. Werewolf sightings and accusations were widespread in Europe during the 15th to 18th centuries, often tied to periods of panic over witchcraft and devilry. Some of the most infamous cases include 1. Peter Stump, 1589, Germany. Known as the Werewolf of Bedburg, Stump was accused of transforming into a wolf and committing a series of murders, including the deaths of children. He reportedly confessed under torture to using a magical belt to transform. He was executed in a gruesome manner, and his trial contributed significantly to werewolf lore in Europe. Number 2. Gilles Garnier, 1573, France. Garnier, dubbed the Werewolf of Dole, was a hermit accused of killing and eating children while in wolf form. He too was executed after being found guilty of these crimes. The trial in Dole reflected widespread fears about werewolves preying on rural communities. Number 3. The Werewolves of Livonia, 16th century Eastern Europe. In what is now Latvia and Estonia, reports of werewolves were tied to witch hunts and superstitions about shape-shifting abilities. During these trials, several people were accused of transforming into wolves to attack livestock and humans. In many of these cases, the accused were likely suffering from mental illness or societal scapegoating, but they illustrate how deeply werewolf beliefs permeated European society. Explanations for werewolf beliefs. Several theories attempt to explain why werewolf beliefs were so common in history. Some of these include 1. Wolves as real threats. In medieval Europe, wolves were a real danger to livestock and occasionally to humans. Fear of wolf attacks may have evolved into myths about supernatural creatures responsible for these deaths. But 2. Rabies. Rabies, a viral disease transmitted from animals to humans through bites, causes erratic and violent behavior, which might have contributed to werewolf myths. Infected individuals often exhibited signs of aggression, confusion, and madness, behaviors that could easily be interpreted as being wolf-like. 3. Mental illness. Some cases of supposed werewolves may be attributed to clinical lycanthropy, a psychiatric disorder in which a person believes they can or have transformed into an animal. Though rare, this condition may explain why individuals claim to experience such transformations. 4. Porphyria. Another medical explanation involves porphyria, a disorder that can cause symptoms like sensitivity to light, disfigurement, and hallucinations. Those afflicted might have been mistaken for werewolves due to their abnormal appearance and behavior. Werewolves in popular culture. In the 19th and 20th centuries, werewolves found new life in Gothic literature and later in horror films. The Romantic movement in literature contributed to a fascination with the supernatural, and stories of werewolves began appearing more frequently. The silver bullet vulnerability became a hallmark of werewolf lore during this period, cementing their place in popular imagination. The Wolfman, 1941. This film, starring Lon Chaney Jr., is one of the most iconic werewolf films and helped popularize many modern elements of the legend, including the association with the full moon and the use of silver bullets. Werewolves in literature. Werewolves have also appeared in modern fiction, such as in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, where Remus Lupin is a tragic figure afflicted by lycanthropy, and in Stephen E. Meyer's Twilight series, where werewolves are depicted as protectors rather than monsters. Conclusion. Werewolves have fascinated and frightened people for centuries, evolving from folklore rooted in fear of predators and the unknown into complex figures in modern culture. Whether seen as cursed beings driven by animalistic rage or tragic characters struggling with their transformations, the werewolf myth remains one of the most enduring and adaptable legends in human history. While modern science and psychology can explain much of the phenomena once attributed to werewolves, the allure of the myth continues to captivate the imagination, ensuring that these shape-shifting creatures remain iconic symbols of horror and mystery.